Well, we're joined now by the President of the ANC Veterans League, Snuki Zikalala. Good evening, Mr. Zikalala. Thanks for your time tonight. Are you concerned about this delay in kicking off this process?
Well, as Veterans League, we are concerned because also we as Veterans League, our structures are not yet in place. I think it's important that all our structures of the Veterans League and of the ANC are in place, and that when we kickstart, especially the BBGMs and BGMs, to sit and discuss policy documents, which are 10 policy documents which are there, there has to be a thorough input from branches. We have 3,200 branches which are in good standing. But whether they meet regularly, whether they do have organized discussions with members of the branches to discuss these policy documents, it's one nations, and they need to, and we have to ensure that the credible who have good credentials, people who are not involved in corruption, in state capture, and individuals who have society, not only the ANC members, but serve society with dignity and integrity. And so it's the structure of the ANC is very important, especially at branch level. But whether we have got credible leaders at branch level, that's another thing that the ANC is grappling with. We know and understand that some of our branches have been infiltrated by unscrupulous elements, and so they need to be cleansed. That is why as the Veterans League, when we talk about constitutional amendments, one of the things that we're proposing is that there should be a renewal of membership so that we screen members, people who are coming in, and then there should be what we call education of all members who are coming to the ANC so that we know who these people are. Do they adhere to the rules and regulations of the ANC? Do they understand the policies and the principles and values of the organization so that we have people who have got interest in serving society and people who are clean and people who are not involved in corruption and, of course, in malfeasance within the organization itself.
Of course, the greater the delay in kicking off the nominations process, then the more difficult the scramble to December will be. There's very little time left. Do you think the issue of the branches and the structures that need to be organized ahead of this process officially kicking off, do you think that will be done in time?
Well, it has to be done. We're only left with 2 months before we go to conference, and the only thing that we have to do is that the organizing departments must ensure that the regional structures of the African National Congress are well-oiled. Currently, the regional structures of the ANC, they've issued a memo saying that by the 15th of September, branches should have given their input on constitutional amendments. But my branch where I am, which is branch 32, the branch is not met. We have not even discussed what kind of constitutional amendments we'd like to see. And so that's our worry. The Veterans League itself, branches have not met, have not even discussed the constitutional amendments. But we as the Veterans League, we have submitted a constitutional amendment to the committee that is dealing with constitutional amendments to say that within the ANC's constitution, they will have to enshrine that the Veterans League has the authority of intervening on all issues that affect the dignity and integrity of the organization. That clause is in the ANC Veterans League Constitution, but not in the ANC Constitution. And so we have submitted that proposal in terms of constitutional amendments. My worry as veterans is that branches have not started discussing constitutional amendments, and the date for that is the 15th of September. Now, it's important that branches should meet as soon as possible, and they should coordinate, and they should be led by credible leaders at branch level.
Kgalema Motlanthe, when speaking about the issue of nominations and who should be considered as capable to lead the ANC, spent a lot of time speaking about the character of the individuals and the fact that it's time for the ANC to uproot corrupt individuals and those that bring the party's name into disrepute. When you look at where things are, do you think there's consensus around the criteria and what that should entail, especially then taking on some of what was discussed at the policy conference in the last couple of months?
No, I think the question of having credible leaders who are not corrupt, credible leaders who have an impeccable credentials within society. We need ethical leaders who will be able to be members of the NEC and members of the National Working Committee, and people will be nominated in the top 6. We don't need individuals who have a wishy-washy background, individuals who are involved in corruption, individuals who are involved in state capture. We don't need that at all. And so society will never vote for us. Our society is highly advanced, and our society is tired of politicians who are joining the ANC just to enrich themselves and their families. And of course, the society is a society that suffers.
Mr. Zikalala, if we're being honest, some of these very individuals that you speak about form part of your organization's NEC as it stands.
No, it's true they form part of the ANC, but I don't think that they'll be able to go through the process that we have set up. The criteria that Comrade Kgalema has proposed, they won't be able to go through that. We said at the NEC meeting, they should do thorough screening, especially of all top 6, thorough screening of 80 members of the NEC. They should do the screening now, immediately, when the names have been released for public comment, when names have been released for branches to discuss. Those individuals should have been screened properly. And branches must screen them as well. If the branches have heard that this comrade has been involved in tender rigging and he has enriched them himself, I think that individual must be pointed out.
But these are the very same branches that have voted and even nominated some of these individuals to provincial structures, if we look at what has happened over the last year.
Yeah, but immediately if those individuals are there, the committee of Comrade Kgalema will definitely weed them out. They won't allow them to stand for any elections, especially in the terms of top 6 and in terms of the 80 members of the NEC. That committee, which is led by Comrade Kgalema, it won't allow that to happen. No, not at all. So
how much contestation do you think that's going to lead to?
Well, there will be contestation. And, as Comrade Thabo Mbeki was saying in one of interviews, he said currently everybody wants to become a leader. And so that's a problem that we have currently with the current ANC that we have. The ANC where I'm coming from, we were chosen as leaders. There's ANC that said, we think that you are ready to lead this area. We think that you are ready to lead this branch. And so, because I've proven myself, now you find every individual standing up and say, I'm ready, I want to be this, I want to be that. That's not the ANC that we know. But as you know, times have changed. People look at these positions just to enrich themselves. They're looking at blue lights. But it's not all about blue lights. It's about serving society, making sure that those who are in those positions, they implement policies of the African National Congress, and they ensure that the set objectives of the African National Congress are met by those individuals. And so that's what is important for us.
Snuki Zikalala, let's leave it there for tonight. He is the president of the ANC Veterans League.